Here's the pitch. Swing on a liner in the air to left, pretty deep. Back goes Yelich. It's going to go. Home run, Pete Alonso. A line drive home run. Just over the Great Wall of Flushing to the right of the 358 mark. Alonso's first home run of the year, and this is now a one-run game.
Alonso hooks one in the air, left center field, back toward the gap goes Canna, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso ties the game with his second home run of the year. Alonso hooks one over the fence in left center, and it's 1-1 in the ninth. And with that, Pete Alonso. And Alonso hits one deep to left center field, headed back toward the wall. That ball is out of here. Pete Alonso gets the Mets back in the game with a 3-run homer. Alonso's third home run of the year, and it cuts the Braves' lead in half. It's now 6-3. And Pete drives one in the gap in left center field, headed toward the wall. It's out of here. Pete Alonso with a line drive home run, his fourth of the year. 6-1 New York.
That's very similar to the home run he hit in Atlanta. Line drive right in the gap, down in the strike zone, and that's where Pete likes it. Out over the plate.
1-1 to Alonso. And he hits one toward the middle. Base hit. Nimmo around third. He'll come home with the tying run. Throw goes to second as Marte goes first. Sit up the middle. That's driven to left field. Back goes Blanco. Takes a look, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso homers for the second straight night and ties the game at 4.
What wind?
Like an axe through butter. Alonso's fifth home run of the year, and it's 4-4 in the third.
And look at the
for 14, Frank. And there's another one for Alonso. He crushes this one, and that one makes it to the back of the lower deck. Second of the day, sixth of the year for Alonso. It's now 11-5 Kansas City. He doesn't leave much doubt. Beast, 198 career home runs for Alonso. Wow. 20th time in his career he's hit 2 in a game.
All right. Breaking news out of the winter meetings in Orlando, Florida. The Pete Alonso is no longer a New York Met. He is now a Baltimore Oriole for 5 years for $155 million for 5 years, and he agreed to the contract this afternoon, Adam. So, what was your take on? You heard the news.
Well, let's see if he fulfills this contract. We all remember the contract he signed with the Mets only lasted 1 year. And it was just like this deal. It was for a lot of money. And, well, Pete Alonso goes from the National League East to the American League East. And now he has to deal with the pitching, with the, with the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Yankees. So, we'll see how he does here in the over in the American League. I think Baltimore fans are going absolutely berserk and bonkers, and the Orioles didn't have much success this year, so maybe now with this Pete Alonso signing, maybe the Baltimore Orioles can rebound next year and go back to the playoffs.
Right, and it's a big signing for the Orioles because you don't see the Orioles do this more often, like the big names team like the Mets, Yankees, and Dodgers and all that stuff. Spending money. And 5 years, $155 million for Pete Alonso, who basically is still in his prime.
True that.
Yeah, and he is the all-time home run king in Mets history. So, because he broke Darryl Strawberry's record, and we were on the broadcast.
We were earlier this year. We were, Chris. Yeah, we were.
So you asked me a question that if I'm happy. Well, I'm kind of a little sad because I would love to see him back in New York, with the Mets, and he's a homegrown player. He was drafted by the Mets from the team from Gainesville that we don't talk about. And now he's changing from the blue and orange to orange and black. And it's going to be weird to look at him, in a Orioles uniform. Seeing here going like, what the heck is going on here? I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
But if you're a Orioles fan, you should be very thankful that Michael Elias actually used some of the money, because they did say in the beginning of the end of the year last year that they will spend money whatever they need to do. And now with the fan base that was destroyed by last year's terrible season by the Orioles, the franchise, and now you see them spending money on a player like Pete Alonso. Plus, they got a pitcher that came from the Mets, who was the Cardinals pitcher, Hemsley.
Yes, that is true, Chris.
So you got two former Mets who are basically in Baltimore. One's going to be a closer or whatever. He could be a starter too if he wants to.
That's correct.
And then you have, because the Orioles need closing help because they don't have any issues. They have issues with closers because they lost their closer last year to. I think they traded them away.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they went to Keenan Aiken and all that stuff, and it was like, it didn't really work out at the end of the year. So you were asking, I'm happy for the people here in Baltimore. They could see a very good power hitter, who, basically could hit a home run anytime he wants.
Good luck.
But it will be really, really different to see him in come to Camden Yards. Here's some more clips of him playing at Citi Field as a Met. And I just hope the Orioles. I hope the Mets don't have to face him in September and have to pitch to him with bases loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't work at all.
No, it won't.
So Pete is a 5-time All-Star, and he won his first Silver Slugger Award this year.
That's correct.
He's 31 years old. People are wondering, does he like Camden Yards? Well, I did some research and just found that he has 5 career home runs, and I saw one of them a couple of years ago when he was here in town against the Orioles, and that was the first inning, and it was a hot August night, and the first pitch that I think Matt Harvey threw it to him. And he hit right out of the ballpark. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. But last year, Pete batted .272 with 38 home runs and 126 RBIs. Yeah, so the Orioles get power, a good RBI guy, and decent average hitter. So it's going to be very interesting to see the Orioles be very competitive in 2026. But they still need a starting pitching. That's what the first thing they need.
Yeah. No. They'll find one. I mean, it's still, it's still early. I know we got a few months till spring training starts. So, the Orioles will find one. Someone's out there, and yeah. I don't know who, but we'll see down the road.
Let me see here. I'm pulling up. I'm trying to see what to get the schedules here. I'm pulling up the Orioles schedule here for a minute. Let's see if I can pull it up. They don't even tell me. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule here. We do open the season March 26th. It seems like every year is getting earlier now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, let's call it the looking at their Well, looking at their opening home series, it is against Minnesota Twins. It's Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then home versus the Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Have to go to Pittsburgh, to Chicago to take on the White Sox in 3-game series. Home to the
Right.
Giants. So yeah, it's looks like a pretty decent schedule for the Baltimore Orioles.
I'm trying to pull up the schedule for. I think what is it? September. They're going to be going up to Citi Field. Let's go to September. Yeah, let's see here.
Yep, it's September 14th through the 16th, which is a Monday through Wednesday, and September 15th is Roberto Clemente Day at Citi Field.
And Orioles versus Mets, September 14th through the 16th, right?
Yep.
At Citi Field. So if you're a Met fan, would you give him a standing ovation?
Oh no, Chris.
I think he should. He was the all-time home run king in that franchise. And we didn't win any pennants. Okay, yes, we didn't win any pennants. But we still remember the home runs he did, home run against Milwaukee, when they beat the Brewers to get onto the NLDS a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And then, the home run against the Phillies and against the Dodgers in Game 5 that opened up the floodgates, to beat them, in Game 5. So there were some great moments of his tenure.
Yeah, I'll say that.
So it'll be September 14th through the 16th. So it'll be at Citi Field, and that's going to be very interesting. Okay, now another question before we get off the air here, our brief little segment here. Who is now going to be playing first base for the Mets? That's going to be a question that we don't even know.
No, I have no idea. I have no clue who the New York Mets are. I mean,
first base.
But you look at the production that Alonso had in that lineup this year. You have to replace that. That ain't easy to do, folks.
Well, they're currently thinking that they might platoon Jeff McNeil and Paul Goldsmith.
What?
Yeah, this is according to AI. Mark Ventos, the guy who was the guy who played at third base for the Mets in 2024, the rookie, they said that he is, he's the candidate to be at first base, but the problem is he was very shaky at first base.
Someone shaky playing first base?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, but here's the thing. If he's shaking at first base, the Mets do have somebody in the broadcast booth who was a first baseman. His name is Keith Hernandez.
Yeah.
So call Keith, ask him to come down to spring training with him when doing the broadcast and work with the guy. I would.
I mean, give him a shot. I mean, you learn from a legend.
Yeah. Jeff McNeil is also another option because the second baseman for the Mets. Yeah, because I guess he played there. Yeah, but he's good. He could platoon at first base against right-handed batters. Come on, Miles. What the heck are you doing? There we go. Yeah. So basically, you could use him at first base. Yeah, but if you're the Mets, you lose 60 home runs at first base.
Yeah.
So who do you go and trade for? You trade for Yeah, Paul Goldsmith, who basically got released by the Yankees last year. You know, who
Mm,
he's old and washed up.
The Mets need is a power. They need a first base power hitter, and there ain't a lot of them out there right now who are free agents.
Right.
That I'm aware of. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and here's the projected lineup for the without Alonso for the Mets in 2026. Yeah, here's parts of it. So you got Lindor leading off, and then you got Marcus Semien from Texas batting second, and then Juan Soto batting third. And then you got down the line, you got they're thinking Cody Bellinger will be there. Yeah, it's like how's that going to happen? Yeah, and I think Ryan O'Hearn might be a Met. Yeah, the guy, the former Oriole. Yeah, might be a Met. Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot. It's still an off season. It's still only December. Yeah. So we'll see, but they start baseball first. Pitchers and catchers are starting earlier this year because they had that World Baseball Classic.
And looking at the spring training schedule, Baltimore Orioles are scheduled to take on the Netherlands-based team as part of a warm-up exhibition, for the World Baseball Classic. So
right. So, all right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for joining us this evening on our breaking news out of the winter meetings. Pete Alonso is a Baltimore Oriole. So happy to welcome him to to Charm City.
Or you can have plenty of crab cakes.
Oh yeah, he'll probably eat that thing up. So, but I am wearing his jersey for the last time as a Met.
You'll probably, Chris, and knowing you'll probably knowing you like I do, you'll probably find a way to get a Pete Alonso Orioles jersey when they're available.
Yeah, I might. But I do like the Orioles too a little bit here in Baltimore. It's good to hear.
I know. Yeah. I know where your heart is.
But I did say to something before we let you go here. I did say to my mother that they traded him to the Mets AAA affiliate. Because the Orioles always get Met stuff. If you see it over the years, and we'll bring this up on Tuesday night because we got somebody coming on the show to talk more about this. But if you look at the trades over the years, it's always somebody from like Bobby Bonilla was a Met, and then he's an Oriole. Chris Benson was a Met, then he was an Oriole. Melvin Mora, Met, Oriole. Yeah, it's pretty funny. If you look at it, it's hilarious. If you just that's why I say I call it we're the AAA affiliate. The Orioles are the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets. Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you on Tuesday night. We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you Tuesday, and we'll try to get somebody on Tuesday night
regarding
8 p.m.
regarding the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, we'll get the Orioles side of it, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk college football playoff and other things going on as well. So we'll see you Tuesday night at 8:00. Have a good one.